Hello. A really great skill to have is being able to find the GCF and LCM. So first of all, what is that and how do we find it? Okay, GCF stands for greatest common factor. And we're going to see an example of that in a sec. Whereas LCM stands for least common multiple. It could be for 2 numbers, it could be for 3 numbers or more. So what we're going to do is take a look at an example, and as we go through the example, you should be able to apply this method to any other set of numbers that you like to find the GCF and LCM of. Okay, so first of all, we have the numbers 42, 70, and 84. Now, to find the GCF and LCM of these, there's lots of methods. This is just one of them, and if you like it, then you can use it. So I like it because it's something that we can all start very easily, and that's to make factor trees, prime factor trees for each of the numbers. In other words, prime factorization is going to be the end result. So for example, 42 is 6 times 7. Break that down further into 2 times 3 and then times the 7, bring it down. Some people leave it. It's really, as you notice here, I just bring it down each time. That way what I end up with are the numbers I'm going to be using. 70, it could be 7 times 10, 10 times 7, 35 times 2. However you start it, doesn't really matter, because in the end, you're going to get the same prime factors. Same thing with 84. And so let me break those down. So as you noticed, it's the greatest common factor is what do these 3 numbers have in common as a factor. In other words, what same number can you divide into all 3 of them? And there is a really nice way to see it. And in other words, the least common multiple also is not as easy to see just looking at the numbers. If that's going to be what's the smallest number that all these 3 numbers can go into evenly. So what I have is the following. I make a nice little table and I put the numbers that I want to find the GCF or LCM of right there on the left. And then I look at my prime factors for each of these numbers. I look for the one that has the most factors. It happens to be 84. And then I just start by making those placing them into their own columns down here as seen. The 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. I also put them in ascending order. It just makes it a little easier to organize. Then the next one, I can choose either one. I'm going to go ahead and use 70. I have a 2, a 5, and a 7. So the 2 goes in the column. Make sure you place it in any of the columns that are already there before you place it in a new column. We have a 2 column already. We do not have a 5 column, so go ahead and create a new one. And the 7, it looks like we already do have a column, so let's go ahead and place that there. And the last of all is 42. That's going to be 2 times 3 times 7. It looks like we have a 2, a 3, and a 7 column already. So go ahead and place them in there. Which 2 column you place it in, go ahead and first use up from left to right the columns that are already there. Definitely you want to make sure you keep that clear. Otherwise, you'll be having extra columns. All right, so how do we find GCF? It's really cool because what do they have in common? What do these 3 numbers have in common? Well, now it's very easy to see. It's going to be this column, they all have in common, and this column, these 3 numbers have in common. So what you do is for those factors of 2 and 7, you multiply them, and you get 14. So the greatest common factor of 42, 70, and 84 is 14. In other words, that's going to be the greatest number that you can see goes into all 3 of those numbers. The least common multiple is a little different. What is the smallest number that these 3 numbers can go into evenly? And that is going to be, let's go ahead and get this. First of all, we're going to have 1 from each column represented, as you see here. The 2 bring down 1 from this column, 1 from this one, 1 from this one, and so on. And that's why you see a 2, 2, 3, 7, and a 5. Multiply those, and you get 420, and that is going to be your least common multiple. Yay! Wasn't that cool? 5 minutes. nice little review. Thanks. Bye.